Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Snoo back again with a Day 5 update on my Ruthless with Gold Poison Concoction character, who is, I guess you could say, beginning to reach that early endgame phase, beginning to tap into red maps, killing some Eldritch bosses, killed the lower tier bosses, not the pinnacle bosses yet, no Watchstones yet, but those should be coming relatively soon, hopefully on the next update. It's actually going quite well. I think I'm going to give you my overall thoughts, then I'll show some highlights for you. After that, I'll go over the gear, PoE, stuff like that. There are timestamps down below. The path building is linked in the description below for your viewing pleasure. So, if you recall, I had a Day 2 update. It was a little bit more humdrum, I think, than my Day 1 update. Day 1 consisted of the campaign. Day 2 was mainly finishing the campaign, the lab, and getting into maps. And it was pretty rough, especially in the beginning of Day 2, I remember. But, you know, I gotta say, especially in the past few days, as this is essentially a Day 3, 4, and 5 update, Ruthless with Gold has really been growing on me. Ruthless in general. Honestly, I don't think the gold has that much of an impact overall. It is allowing me to purchase orbs of fusing pretty reliably, so that's cool. I don't know if that makes them worth more or less than in regular Ruthless. Somebody might be able to tell me. Essentially, it's like 5 to 1. 5 fusings per alchemy orb. Oh yeah, alchemy orb, definitely the currency of trade. Scours and Vals are apparently worth about the same as you get into red maps. But you can see I got a stash tab there. I got a few things already. And my goodness, I mean, I've been grinding and farming. I've probably farmed, it's honestly really hard to say, but I've never had more than 25 alch orbs liquid at a time, but I've probably farmed and or traded for at least 100 alchemy orbs, maybe closer to 200. Again, it's kind of hard to say, but you can see definitely have some expensive gear over there, some unique gear. I made a 25 alch orb purchase, which we'll get into when I show the gear. But yeah, this league's really growing on me, and I'm getting into that kind of alch and go groove. Actually leveling. I'm 6 bars into level 85 now. 85 currently. That's not too bad, I think. Yeah, still kind of weird stuff going on. Not quite 100% hit chance, poison chance, but you know, I'm figuring it out. We'll get into the path of building and the gear, shuffling around stuff. But I kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. I'm really getting a sense of like what kind of end-game gear do I want, what kind of goals do I have, and I definitely do see this ending, you know, at some point, to probably around at least a soft ending before the D4 beta access, which I will be participating in. We still got a few more days for that, but I am planning to hit this pretty hard. I'm having a great time, having a blast doing that. So let me share a few highlights with you, and you can take a look at those, and we'll get back to the gear and all that. Yeah. Katarina out. Oh my god. Oh no. What do I do? What do I do, guys? Oh my god, this is crazy. What? I get tier 3 gem cutter with the lapidary lens and everything. Like, that doesn't mean anything in Ruthless. Or I can swap it over to Vault and automatically get tier 2 on the Vault. I guess I gotta go with the gem cutter. I don't know, might get some crazy gem, I don't know. What the heck? That is a weird choice. I have already seen like the Vault, and it's, yeah, like, it often drops crap, but the gems, I've also hit the gem one too, and one of them gave me 3 gems, the other one gave me 0. I hit the thing and didn't give me any gems. I was like, what the hell? So if I get double 0, that's gonna feel stupid. I'm selling a helmet for 3 alchs right now. This is probably the second best rare item I've found in the entire thing. This one right here. Let's take a look at this. 77 life. A little bit of energy shield. Pretty crazy life regen roll, and then 2 resist. And then I 4-linked it on purpose, so I essentially spent like 1 alch to 4-link it, but it didn't really cost me an alch. I think a decent flipping strategy would be purchasing rare items like the one I had. That you would like the one I just had right there would quite often go for just 1 alc, but you can like buy that and then 4-link it and sell it for 2 or 3, and only spend about half an alc actually 4-linking it. Probably on average, especially if, well, it could be a little risky, I guess, but I feel like, I can't remember, I think Orbs of Fusing go for like 5 to 1. So, could be good. See a rip coming? Really? Oh, okay, I can rip. No problem. No problem. Oh, I'm ripping. I'm ripping. I'm gonna run right in here. What's up, guys? Man, that was... I'd say I ripped them pretty good. Ripped them a new one. Well, last time, I didn't have my gear figured out yet. That's what it looks like. To just blast through an expedition that would otherwise get me killed when I have my gear figured out. We got one more of those to see if I can get any good gems. Of course, I want to see a determination gem. Determination. Swift assembly support. Yeah, I think that is actually something that sells. Oh, I think that was my very first gem that I found earlier. Alright, here we go. Lapidary lens versus a level 1 0% haste going Val. Oh. I upped the level. Ah, I'm too good at increasing the level. Ugh. That's all I can do. That's all I know how to do. Is increase the level of the gem. Oh no. What a waste. Oh, it doesn't matter because it's still... I paid 4 alcs for it. I can probably sell it for 3, and then I can just find a raw alc on the ground to make up for the other one. So, pretty easy. What can I say? It's easy. Yeah. Epic moments in Ruthless with gold. That's correct. There are no divination cards in Ruthless. Yeah. Get hosed. LOL. What did I say? What did I say? I bought that haste gem for 4 alcs. Corrupted it for free. And I'm now selling it for 4 alcs. Bricked. Awesome. Well, did my thing. Woo! Hey, I found a map. Nice.
Greetings. Go with courage.
Lucky. What? No veiled item.
By the time we're through.
Oh wow, an ambusher dropped in the middle of getting ambushed. That's poetic. It's an ambusher. Get it?
Oh God! Look, I know what you're really. The question now,
Exsanguinate.
is whether or not you're foolish enough to face him down.
Natural uniformation. Woo! Raise zombie. Well, that is a pretty low tier gem. What don't you like about Ruthless Gold? Don't like about it? I was anticipating and hoping that we could at least like gamble for gems. It would have been really helpful early on. Now it doesn't really matter though, because all the gems are basically worthless, except for like specific aura gems. %4 movement with per frenzy charge, yeah. True. Hold on, I'm not gonna pour it out yet. I got a good thing going on here to kill this boss. This boss could be a pain in the ass. I'm gonna out heal that shit. Come on. Aha! 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 Did you see that? That's pro moves. All that leech. That massive leech from the Highwayman. Actually leeching the poison damage on top of a 4,500 life over 5.2 seconds. Pathfinder life flask. Can't touch this. You can't touch this. PoE? Nope. General currency. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, start the Orb of Alchemy. Orb of Regret. No. Orb of Annulment. Nope. Orb of Binding. What? Oh, here it is. Oh man. I can't make it there in one jump. Oh yes. That's right. I'm gonna feel the swing on every alchemy orb properly. Dang, Bisco's leash. It's kind of expensive. Alright. Now I'm ready. I don't know whether to go for a 5-link or Grace gem next. What do you think, guys? 5-link or Grace? Oh, this is a Harbinger. Hey, you better see another Fracture Orb or maybe Arctic Armor instead. That would be fine. 4 5 Horizon Shards. Alright. Well, no Fracture Shard. Hey, maybe I should make my goal to acquire a raw Fracturing Orb. I'll just play the game until I get a raw Fracturing Orb. And then I'll fracture something. And probably fail at it. Chaos Orb? What? That's not a red star. Might not have time. Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta reset the thing. Almost forgot to do that. Wouldn't have mattered if I dropped an alchemy orb. Wouldn't have been the same. Essence. Wow, I got the Essence and the Harbinger in one map. Muttering Essence of Hatred. Ooh. So strong. I'm just gonna run in there. Die, you righteous fire bitch! Everyone who plays righteous fire is a bitch! Oh, sorry. I got a little carried away there. Baby cry.
My mana is gone.
Let's try that again, shall we? Ugh, 4 portals, my ass. 1 portal. 1 portal. Take that. Maybe 4 portals for a righteous fire player. Yeah, I'm very out of practice on that. So out of practice, I've never practiced. Red star, what? Oh! Oh! That's so exciting, man. Orb of Alchemy. Red star. I mean, we are in Crimson Township, so it could have been an apothecary. Yeah, I might have never seen it. The hideout? I don't know if I've done the hideout on this map before. Nope. Oh my god, I'm getting a new hideout, guys. I don't know if I'm able to share this or not. This is a tier 9. They may want a iceberg hideout. Glacial hideout. Alright, so we got the gear to go over for you. I am going to start with I think this is a new shield from last time I had. So this is an interesting shield I noticed is really popular on Ruthless without gold. And it's because of 40% increased duration of ailment on enemies, called Leopard's Alm. It's actually quite interesting. I don't get anything out of the implicit, however. To get a perfect roll, it was only had to pay 3 or 4 chaos for this a while back. Shared Suffering is really interesting. Apparently, I've never utilized it because I'm running Purity of Elements, but it allows you to share the elemental ailments that you have inflicted on you back to the enemy, and every time you do that, you remove the ailment from yourself. Which, if I'm not mistaken, again, I haven't tested this, but I'm pretty sure that means everything except for freeze, so long as, you know, because you obviously can't freeze the target if you're frozen because you can't move and hit with cold damage or whatever. But it allows even chaos damage to shock, chill, and potentially freeze, I guess, if I have freeze chance on. So all I need to do really is get freeze immunity, and I think I can actually drop Purity of Elements, and this is a big plan I have in the future. I'm working towards that. I'll let you know a little bit more on that in a minute, but definitely a cool shield. I did have a couple other options I was going for, but I think this is, especially with this event and the short-termness of it, this is just the end game shield. It's going to end there. The boots, I did get an upgrade on these, just for the the same boots, but I got an enchant and I got better rolls on it, and I basically already decided these are the in-game boots I want to use. I don't really see myself going so far as to getting like Eldritch Implicit boots, or certainly no Tailwind boots. anything like that. Probably gonna just stick with these. They have a huge rarity roll. They have an attack speed roll for fun, a strong resist roll. They got decent movement speed, everything you really need. I mean, they don't have life, I guess, and the evasion rolls doesn't really matter much, but that's essentially 2 rarity rolls, and 1 item is pretty strong, and the attack speed roll can kind of counts as 1 full roll. The belt I'm going to replace with Bisco's Leash here pretty soon. I've been sporting this belt for a long time. I found this belt on like day 1 or day 2. So I will be getting rid of that. Obviously, we'll have to figure out the resistances at some point. The gloves, I'm just kind of working whatever gloves and whatever resistances I need. These work out real good for me right now. I think the gloves will be the last rare piece of gear I have, and I am ultimately planning to have nothing but unique gear, potentially. The gloves may remain rare, but they will be the only rare on there. I still have these Cherubim's Maleficence, so this, I think, is just going to be the end game chest that I have. And there's an interesting synergy, I think, going on with this ring over here. And the ring, you'll notice that they both have life leech, and they seem to maybe benefit off one another. I'm not really sure when it comes to like damage over time. Maybe somebody in the comments knows. 100% increased total recovery per second from life leech, if that matters with like poison leech, because this does leech from poison. This is something that's very rare, being able to leech from like damage over time. Usually you can only leech from attacks, like the points and the passives, or the clusters, or even like Feast of Flesh, I think, only allow you to be leeching off of attack damage. But so it's hard to come by sources of pure damage leech, and it does work, and it gives me an exceptional amount of recovery. The more damage I do, the more recovery I have. And I definitely think this is like the ultimate sleeper pick piece of gear for this build, for sure. The movement speed is super strong in Ruthless. The rarity gold ring with a super strong rarity roll, extraordinarily strong. Stealing, power, frenzy, and endurance charges hit doesn't mean anything to me, but actually the 1% damage leeches life is the most useful mod on here, with total life, total recovery per second from life leeches doubled. I'm guessing that does apply to damage over time, so effectively I have at least 2% damage leeches life, possibly 4%, depending on how this all works, the synergy here, but I definitely feel like I got a ton of leech. So it feels really, really good, and this is easily the most valuable, I think overall, the most valuable piece of gear I even have, personally. I did go ahead and fork out 6 chaos for this ring. It's usually only like 2 or 3 chaos, but it's almost perfect rolls, so that was hard to get. So I did realize that I'm never not gonna use this ring, I think, except maybe on bossing or something like that, but I don't know, we'll see. The other ring was a recent purchase. I mentioned I spent 25 alteration or 25 alchemy orbs. Maybe I said chaos earlier. I meant alchemy orbs on a purchase, and that was this one. This is the most expensively helped ring on trade. I've been live searching rare rings for a long time, and I've noticed something. They're never any good. They're always terrible. I mean, even like the very best ones come to like maybe even the very best rare ring I've seen on trade can't even touch this ring, not even close. So I've decided, you know what, I'm just gonna, and that's with a busted prefix, or implicit roll. That implicit doesn't mean anything for my build. Not to say I'm gonna corrupt this thing or anything, but yeah, the perfect elemental resistance roll. I realized what my end game goal was gonna be. I needed a strong resistance roll in the ring. I don't like giving up rarity on this build. Raw percent increased damage is extremely strong for this build, and I also am in a weird situation with attributes where I kind of need some strength and intelligence on gear somewhere. This really helps with that, and of course I do get some intelligence on Malagaro's cruelty. I think the amulet is the biggest item that's up in the air about what I want to do in the future. I may stick with this. I may swap over to an item that I found, actually. Where is it? But still here. Oh yeah, the Eternal Struggle. So when I killed the Hunger boss, I did get this to drop. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or use it or whatever, but possibly. And yeah, but Aggressive Bash, still, absolutely no regrets with this anointment. I think it's super, super strong. The helmet is okay. I do have another one I just bought. Somehow got my hands on this thing for 1 chaos, but I still have to figure out the resistances before I use it. I'm short fire resistance currently. So with the helmet, I have decided it's always kind of hard to like figure out your ores and everything. And I realized that Alpha's Howl is going to be my helmet for the league. The one I'm kind of working towards. They're really hard to come by. Very expensive. I did have my hands on one temporarily, but I decided to sell it. I actually flipped it for like 6 alch orbs. When I realized I couldn't, I wasn't going to be able to wear it for a while because I have to figure out the resistance system. But well, that's before I had the Lehup ring, and so this is just sort of a stand-in until I get Alpha's Howl. I can wear it now, I think, if I have to switch over some passives again. But yeah, if I get Alpha's Howl, I will go from having only Purity of Elements, Haste, and War Banner to having Grace, Haste, War Banner, and Herald of Agony back in. I had to drop Herald of Agony to get Haste, and I realized Haste is just better than Herald of Agony. It's about the same DPS, almost the same DPS, but you get the movement speed. Obviously, not counting the minion's actual damage, which is impactful at this stage in the game. Alright, so that is basically all the gear. I think there's still the flasks, of course. I am about to switch over to enchanting all of these to use when charges are full. I hope I don't regret that. But definitely have these about figured out. I also have this one I think I'm going to put in instead. Get that extra attack speed. I still feel like sporting 2 Quicksilvers at once. I think that's a good play. Still using the same Divine Flask I had last time. Yeah, so that's the gear. It's pretty exciting. I think every single thing is going to be unique. Again, this is going to be Abyssco's Leash. It's going to be Alpha's Howl. This will be eventually, if I can get it, if I can figure out the resistances, Asena's Touch. Yeah, one of the most expensive uniques on the market. It was like 50 alch orbs or whatever. But may actually get my hand on it. And that will be a really solid early endgame poison concoction build. Still currently on a 4-link, so let's get over with the links here. Projectiles, greater volley, ailments, poison concoction. I'm honestly a bit disappointed. I'm on a 4-link. So here's the deal. I went ahead and bought a second Cherubim Malefice. Pretty good. Great baseline. Armor and evasion. 6-socketed and like 5 jewelers. I've blown about 200 fusings on this thing. It still hasn't even 5-linked. I just want 5-link. I don't even care about 6-link. I mean, it would be great. At this point, I really just want 5-link. I'll get a Void Manipulation support in there, I think. It will give me like 40% more damage. Will be a pretty big deal. But very frustrating and pretty unlucky, I think, considering it's a 6-socket. To get a 5-link on a 6-socketed item is not that hard. Very often happen in like a dozen links or less. So, things are the way they are, I guess. Let's see. So down here, I'm still running my cool little 4-link here. I was running Immortal Call and Increased Duration, pairing it up with the cast and damage taken support, but I ended up not liking it. I'm thinking about putting maybe a second cast and damage taken support and double 2-linking to get both of these back in. I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence with it right now. Kind of need my links to be the way they are. I still got this really pretty 4-link here. This is like the perfect Wither Totem 4-link. And the auras are just sitting over here in the gloves. Herald of Agony leveling on the back end because I know I might as well make it go to level 20 because I'm going to use it eventually. I will want Val Haste at some point. I did try to Val Haste, of course. In the highlights you saw that, but missed it. So I think I'll just keep doing Alpha Temples to Val Haste. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it on that. So with the passives, I'm currently working my way back into Weathered Hunter. I dropped it temporarily. I think I'm just going to probably end up dropping this Flask Wheel. One more level and dropping... Actually, I don't know what I want to do exactly. I don't think I really need this Flask Mastery anymore. I don't think it's that impactful now. God, I just don't want to have to lose Druidic Rite. A 20% increased Flask Duration. Pretty dang strong for just 2 points. And getting the 10%. Charges the max mana, mattering only a tiny bit. It's hard to figure out what I might drop for that, honestly. There's not much. There's not many options there. I certainly don't want to drop life. I'm already escaping by not taking, the back end percent increased life. Almost 3k life here currently, not taking these two either. I may just have to drop all of this down here, and then, I do actually have a Viridian Jewel that's pretty good that I could use. Feel kind of bad not using this. I also have another ring. I realize I need to get back up. I need to get rid of this ring now. At some point. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll just put it here for now and drop it slowly over time. You can see my tabs are getting pretty full. I'm starting to get blighted maps. Blighted maps are quite interesting. I'm going to be running one of those. One of the first things I do when I live stream today. I'll show you guys what blight map running is. Like Alva temples, I heard they were the bomb, and yeah, they pretty much are the bomb. So let me talk a little bit about the strategy as far as mapping, because map sustain can be pretty tough. Here's my map situation. Not the greatest currently. I've been in much better situations than this. I was running some tier 11s for a while. I mean, as you can see, I've done all the tier 11s except this one. Buying and selling completions also a thing. I've actually never bought a single completion, but I was selling. You can sell red map completions for up to like an alch orb each, which is pretty crazy. I do have a tier 10 Forbidden Woods map. This will just straight up sell for an alch orb. What's really cool is a lot of yellow maps that rolled rare and unidentified will just straight up sell for an alch orb. Sometimes somebody will buy it for the completion. Something like this, these precinct maps, burial chamber map. They could, although things have died down a little bit now that the weekend's over. There definitely were a lot of people playing earlier, but yeah, not so much now. So the big thing to do here is, of course, you got Alva and Keurig, and I think between these two things you can really ramp things up. One huge breakthrough that I'm looking for is to get a single Keurig red map mission. Now, I only have I guess I'll go ahead and show the Alice passives here. I only have 5% chance with all the nodes here. 1.5 here, 1.5 here, 2% here. And yeah, the rest of it is kind of scouting reports, which I think is kind of a big deal. Apparently blocking is really important because maps can only have a certain number of things that can spawn. Like I heard there was like 35% chance to spawn one mechanic, 5% chance to spawn two, and then like almost like 1% to spawn three or something like that, and that's probably all you're gonna get on a single map. Although I have seen things like Essence and Harbinger show up at the same time. I'm wondering if certain mechanics, certain things that are like not a part of the blocking toolkit here, if they don't count towards that. I honestly am kind of curious about that. Maybe let me know in the comments if you know. See, I have an 8% chance to spawn a Harbinger or an Essence, and I don't know if those are getting in the way of my chance of Alva spawning, because apparently Alva and any of the master missions also count as a mechanic that may or may not spawn. So if you kind of block everything off, you increase your chance of a master mission spawning on the map. Apparently that's how it works. So Blight is actually really cool when you start going Alva stuff. Because Blight just comes straight up the line with Alva. If you see Blight's just going straight up the left line here, so is Alva. Alva is also going straight up the left line. So these two work out really well together. Nobody wants Legion or Breach because nobody wants those League-specific rewards. Abyss, same story. I mean, maybe with some Abyssal Jewels, possibly. Even like a Stygian Vice, nobody's crafting those. Expedition's garbage because it's just way too... The prices from the vendors is way too expensive. Sacred Grove, again, probably is good in the long run, but the prices are pretty high, and I think you're in it for the long haul if you go Sacred Grove for anything. Metamorph, not too bad, but it's just for Catalyst, really. I haven't noticed people buying heist stuff very much. Even blueprints weren't selling that great, so I went ahead and dropped that. Ritual seemed like garbage to me. Delirium was okay, I guess, but yeah, the reward's actually not that great. Blight has a unique advantage in the short run in that people want to anoint their amulets, so the anointments are good. And it also has blighted maps, which creates content that can further drop maps, which is good, and other potential things. So I think Blight is a really strong play, especially for like short-term in-game play, which is, you know, this is an event with short-term in-game. And so I think Blight is good, and the fact that it goes right up the line with Alva stuff. So like, you know, I'm basically going for Alva stuff. You can see like the next few points going to hit this wheel here, and they'll probably go up and even hit this wheel here. But you know, I got immune response 3 points away. You got these that are going to be pretty close too, right? So that is pretty nice the way that's set up. I will ultimately want to hit the top nodes here to get more maps found. There's a chance to be higher. But hey, all of the shaping nodes are taken. All of these nodes here with the Keurig Master Mission chance are good. Currently have a 7% chance to get an Alva mission on map completion, a 5% chance to get Keurig, bonus chances. I don't even know what the default chance is in this mode. It probably is 2% for each master. And then getting Alva this way. I think this is a really strong tree. Probably the worst thing about this tree is just having Essence and Harbinger in there. So with Harbinger, I have accumulated, and I've used one, so I've accumulated 5 Orbs of Horizon and 5 Fraction Shards. That's about it. I mean, it's a couple Ancient Shards. I don't think Alchemy Shards drop or anything, so it feels kind of bad. But Orbs of Horizon are extremely valuable, and they're going to be more valuable as I get into red tier maps. So it is nice having those. So really, for me, I don't mind sacrificing 3 Atlas passive points for an 8% chance to spawn a Harbinger if it's not dramatically reducing my chance to get Alva and stuff on there. So that's something I need to find out. If anybody of you know, yeah, do let me know. I think Essence is actually even worse though, because somehow, even at 0.5 Alks a piece, nobody's buying these. I did have somebody buy 1 Essence at one point for a full Alk, and I did get Remnant of Corruption that way too. Oh wow, I forgot about this bow here. Should probably remove some of these. The +1 Chaos Amulet's pretty hard to come by. 5. Here's my only 5 link drop. I'm actually super... You don't even understand how crazy unlucky I am that I've only seen... This is the only 5 link that I've even dropped. This is insane. I got a 5 link early on when I did my test run. 2 days and 8 hours. Honestly, can't believe it. I feel like 5 links should be dropping halfway frequently. Not that I'm going to use it, because I wanted a unique one in there and I don't have a weapon, but still. Yeah, so that's basically the story. That's my strategy. Just one more quick word on Alva. So what makes Alva so great is you can choose to run Alva master missions on whatever tier you want. You can run it on red map. You can force it on like I force it on a tier 10. Okay, so then Alva, the temple is tier 10 level. Like one time I do Alva tier 10, the other times I run it on whatever tier 1, tier 2, and then the temple is going to be tier 10, and that temple can drop basically any map that like tier 11 and below. However, there is a catch there. So whenever you're not mapping and you are trying to get maps to drop, whether it's like Delve or Alva, you can only drop maps that you've already done. Because they're not part of the Atlas. Here is Atlas. And so you can't drop adjacent maps because you're not in a map. So you can only drop maps you've already done, which means you're not getting like new things unlocked out of there, but at least you are getting some crazy good maps sustained, so that's good. The next trick to pull really is going to be to get a single Alva or Keurig mission, to get a single red map Keurig mission, because they're going to spawn like high tier red maps, and then trying to get, you know, something going there, like 14, 15, 16, it's just gonna catapult me straight into there. And then Alva, if I can get a red tier Alva master mission, I'll probably pay whatever it costs to purchase like a tier 15 or tier 16 map and run it there. And then I'll probably want to wait until I've ran at least 1 tier 12, 1 tier 13, 1 tier 14, one of each tier. So that way, if the map selected drops of that tier, it can drop the map, because otherwise it won't even drop a map, I'm pretty sure, because it can only drop a map that you've already done. So you have to have done a tier 12, a tier 13, a tier 14 of some kind. And if I can get to a point where I've done 1 of each tier, and I can get those Alvas, and I can just purchase the map. Again, it's Trade League, so there's nothing wrong with that. I can just purchase the map. Then I think sustaining temples and doing that is going to be incredibly easy. I think it's actually going to be very easy to sustain red tier maps, at least low red tier maps, because, I mean, my goodness, once I get the Alva nodes up here, I'll have a 10% bonus chance to get an Alva mission on every map. I already have increased chance to get it as well here, default. So it's probably a 14% chance with like a 4% chance to spawn naturally on the map or something like that. And then I only have to run 3, not 4 times Alva mission. And so I'm just gonna keep like going temple, just gonna keep spamming temples, and it's like 5 or 6 maps drop out of every temple. And granted, some of them are gonna be lower tier, but at the same time, I will, once I start doing high tier red maps, I'm gonna do a couple pinnacle bosses quickly. I'm gonna get those out of the way. And so like the lowest tier map I'll drop is like tier 8, I think. And then if I can get just like somehow get like Maven or Uber Shaper done somehow, maybe I'll just leech the credit on that. I don't know. We'll see. But that's my plan moving forward. I think before the D4 beta starts, you're going to see me outfitted with the end game gear. It's going to be done, except maybe rare gloves. It's going to be 5 or 6 link. It's definitely going to be a 5 link next time I see you. And the passive skill tree is going to be good. And I'm probably going to be like level 88 or 89, maybe 90 at the time. It's incredibly easy to level if you just spam like white maps, yellow maps. As long as your character is good enough that it never dies, it's still easy. I feel like the leveling pace, people talk about how crazy hard it is to get high level. I can't speak for in the 90s. Yeah, I'm sure in the 90s it's kind of crazy. But at this point, around level 85, it's about the same as being like level 93 or 94. Somewhere in there, I feel like, as far as how much reduced, like level 93 or 94 in the main game as far as that formula. It's something like that. I've leveled enough times to kind of get a feel for that. So that's it. That's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Definitely help me out if you can. I'm trying to figure out the whole blocking, because it's kind of weird. It doesn't even say what happens if you block mechanics. So how does Alva interact with that? How does Harvest and Essence? One more thing I didn't mention is that Rogue Exiles I think are actually pretty good for like maybe the in-game play is Alva, Blight, and Rogue Exiles. Rogue Exiles are actually pretty good. They quite often drop, if you have enough rarity, you need rarity, but they quite often drop uniques or rare jewelry. They especially drop jewelry, so they're a very good source of jewelry, rare jewelry. And so I think I might tap into Rogue Exiles as well. There's not too many places to get them, after all. And they're right along the same area that I'm already taking. Pretty awesome. Alright, that's it. I'll catch you in the next video. And it'll probably be one more update for Ruthless with Gold. See you there.